Hey everyone, today we'll be taking a look at a monitor from ASUS, the ROG Strix XG259CM. Boasting a 24.5-inch 1080p Full HD panel with a blazing fast refresh rate of 240Hz and eLMB technology, this is a gaming monitor with an IPS panel that is priced at the higher end of the 1080p gaming monitor market. Let's get started. The XG259CM comes in a fancy looking box that is pretty much par for the course for a Republic of Gamers offering from ASUS, with these black and red colors for a more aggressive, gamer-oriented appearance. In terms of accessories, ASUS has included a quick start guide, a warranty information booklet, a power adapter and accompanying power cord, a DisplayPort cable and a HDMI cable. Now both of these display cables have the ROG logo embossed into the plastic housings of the connector heads and do feel pretty premium. We also do get a USB Type-A male to USB Type-B male cable, which is to be used to enable the monitor's built-in USB Type-A ports and the KVM feature. Next up is a USB Type-C male to USB Type-C male cable, a color calibration report for this particular monitor, as well as a sheet of ROG stickers. Setting up the monitor out of the box is a very painless process. It's just a simple matter of attaching the stand like so, and then tightening the screws on the base of the stand. In terms of aesthetics and build quality, the monitor is made out of light grey plastic with a mix of glossy and matte finishes, and on the whole feels very solidly built. The design of the monitor from the front can be considered muted by ROG standards, but moving over to the rear, we see that ASUS has included some PCB trace motifs as well as a smattering of ROG logos and embellishments to jazz up the appearance of the monitor. Do note that there's no RGB LEDs on this monitor or any other aesthetic lighting features for that matter. One interesting feature to note is the inclusion of a tripod mount right here at the top of the monitor stand, which allows end users to, say, attach a camera to record themselves while gaming. Controls for the monitor are located in this area on the rear of the monitor, where we've got a 5-way joystick here to navigate within the monitor's OSD, a button to exit the said OSD, 2 user configurable buttons that can be used as shortcut keys to different menu items within the OSD, as well as the power switch. Physical dimensions wise, the monitor comes in at these measurements with and without the stand. In terms of weight, it weighs in at 6.1 kg with the stand and 3.6 kg without the stand. Do note that the monitor is also VESA mount capable. All you need to do is simply press this button right here, like so, and the monitor stand detaches from the monitor to review the standard VESA mounts. The XG259CM comes with height, tilt, swivel, and pivot adjustments. These adjustments can be easily done on the fly, and height-wise, end users are able to have between 0 to 110 mm of height adjustment, 25 degrees of swivel either way, like so, and tilt adjustments of between -5 degrees to +20 degrees. Pivoting the monitor from the landscape to portrait orientation is also a breeze, with 0 to 90 degrees clockwise adjustments permitted. In terms of connectivity, the XG259CM comes with a power adapter connector, a HDMI 2.0 port, a DisplayPort 1.2 port, a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-C port that supports display input as well as power delivery of up to 15 watts. We also get a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-B upstream port, 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-A downstream ports, a 3.5mm audio jack for when you have a PC connected via HDMI or DisplayPort, as well as a Kensington lock slot opening. Here's a quick summary on the panel specs for the XG259CM gaming monitor. As mentioned earlier, it has a 24.5-inch IPS panel with LED backlighting that supports the Full HD 1080p resolution. It's also advertised to have a maximum brightness of 400 nits and has a 1 millisecond grey-to-grey response time with an 8-bit panel supporting 16.7 million colors. The panel supports the HDR10 standard and has a refresh rate of 240Hz, which makes it well suited for fast-paced games. Moving on to color accuracy, unfortunately I do not currently have the equipment to do an actual physical test of color accuracy, but that said, ASUS has included a color calibration testing report which states that the average delta E value for this monitor is 1.44, which is a really good result. To put things into context, a delta E value of less than 1 is near perfect in terms of color accuracy and would be imperceptible to the human eye. I personally found the colors of the XG259CM to be really vibrant during testing. Viewing angles are also great with this monitor, where ASUS advertises horizontal viewing angles of up to 178 degrees. In addition, I couldn't detect any IPS glow at all. Now the key feature for this monitor would be its maximum refresh rate, 240Hz, which makes this a really fast monitor capable of displaying high frame rates so as to reduce smearing and screen tear. I tried several rounds of Fortnite on this monitor and I'm happy to report that the gaming experience was buttery smooth. I personally use a 75Hz refresh rate monitor for my day-to-day, and the improvement in smoothness is evident even in simple things like mouse cursor movements to scrolling down in Word and PDF documents. We've also got support for variable refresh rate technologies such as AMD's FreeSync Premium, and the monitor is listed to be G-Sync compatible as well. The monitor also comes with 5 levels of overdrive. Overdrive in a nutshell allows you to tweak the response time of the monitor panel so as to reduce ghosting of on-screen images, which is more applicable in contexts in which you'd be gaming at high frame rates. Do note that overdoing this can result in artifacts as well, such as coronas. Unfortunately, I don't have the appropriate equipment to properly capture the test images from the Blurbusters UFO test, but on the max overdrive setting, coronas become extremely evident. From my own personal observation using my eyes alone, I find that an overdrive setting of 3 seems to be the sweet spot for this monitor. The monitor also comes with another blur reduction feature called Extreme Low Motion Blur, or ELMB technology, which is ASUS's implementation of black frame insertion technology. In a nutshell, ELMB switches off the backlight of the monitor in between refreshes so as to reduce instances of blurred images on screen. This monitor supports ELMB Sync, which means that you can use ELMB while enabling Nvidia's G-Sync at the same time for a hopefully smoother visual experience. Do note that you cannot run both ELMB and Overdrive at the same time, so a choice has to be made between these two if you'd like to enable some form of blur reduction feature while gaming. The XG259CM also comes with a shadow boost feature, which helps lighten dark areas of games without overexposing brighter areas, and I suppose it does a decent job in doing what it's supposed to do. All in all, the gaming experience with this monitor is great, and probably would meet the needs of competitive gamers out there on the lookout for a fast 1080p gaming monitor. Navigating the OSD for this monitor is a breeze with the 5-way joystick, and lets you access to the various gaming features of the monitor as well as your usual settings such as color, input selection, and so on. Now, switching on and off blur reduction features such as Overdrive, AMD FreeSync Premium, as well as ELMB is easily done like so, and you also get access to features such as Game Plus as well as Game Visual. Game Plus offers an interesting set of on-display features such as a crosshair, a timer, a stopwatch, and even a FPS counter. Pretty neat. Game Visual, on the other hand, allows you to select from different preset picture modes. I personally prefer the colors that the racing mode has to offer right off the bat. One other feature to highlight is the built-in blue light filter feature, which as you can see offers 5 preset levels of blue light filtering. Now, one interesting feature that the XG259CM comes with is a built-in keyboard video mouse switch, also abbreviated as KVM, where you'll be able to control two devices with a single keyboard and mouse. To do so, you need to have a keyboard and mouse connected to the USB 3.2 Type A downstream ports, and your two devices, such as a desktop PC and laptop, connected to the monitor via the upstream USB ports and the corresponding display input ports. All this will depend on how your setup is like, as per this illustration from the monitor's user manual. Do note that the USB Type-C port on this monitor supports power delivery of up to 15 watts, meaning to say you wouldn't be able to charge perhaps a laptop which has a USB Type-C port supporting power delivery, as 15 watts simply isn't enough juice for charging purposes. In conclusion, the ASUS ROG Strix XG259CM is a feature-packed 24.5-inch 1080p gaming monitor. It's well built, packs a high maximum refresh rate of 240Hz, has backlight strobing technology and a built-in KVM that would most certainly increase the flexibility of your usage scenarios at home. One downside for this monitor, however, would be its price, where it's going for a recommended retail price of 709 Singapore dollars, making it rather pricey, especially considering that you could get other 1080p gaming monitors with higher refresh rates for less money. With that, thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to catch you guys around the next time.